In the world of personal development, detachment is often misunderstood as indifference, giving up, or not caring anymore. But the truth is the opposite. Detachment is not abandoning your goals. Detachment is abandoning your attachment to the outcome. You still act, you still strive, you still hold high standards. But you don't let the result define your worth. And here's the paradox. When you let go of the outcome, your performance actually improves. Today, we'll explore how some of the most successful individuals in the world practice detachment to achieve two things that seem contradictory: peak performance and inner peace. 1. Naval Ravikant. Detachment as a happiness contract. Naval Ravikant, founder of AngelList and one of Silicon Valley's most influential thinkers, once said, "Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want." Think about that. When you say, "I'll be happy when I make $1 million, I'll feel worthy when I'm recognized, I'll relax when everything is certain," you're placing yourself in a constant state of lack. Naval isn't saying you shouldn't have goals. He's saying you shouldn't attach your identity to them. He focuses on becoming a high-skill, clear-minded, emotionally stable person. The results are a byproduct. Detachment here means, I play the game fully. I optimize my strategy. I keep learning. But I don't let the outcome determine who I am. That is inner freedom. 2. Phil Jackson. Let go of winning. Enter flow. Phil Jackson, the legendary NBA coach who led Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant to multiple championships, was known as the Zen Master. Not because of tactics alone, but because of the mindfulness philosophy he brought into elite basketball. His mantra, one breath, one mind. When an athlete becomes obsessed with winning, fear of losing creeps in. When fear appears, the body tightens. When the body tightens, natural rhythm disappears. Phil taught his players to be fully present in the moment. Not in the scoreboard, not in the crowd's reaction, not in tomorrow's headlines. When they let go of the pressure to win, they entered flow, a state where action feels effortless and instinctive. Detachment doesn't weaken you, it frees you from fear. And when fear disappears, genius can emerge. 3. Deepak Chopra, The Law of Detachment. Deepak Chopra, in his book The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, describes the law of detachment as a turning point for achieving success. According to him, attachment is rooted in fear. Detachment is rooted in trust. When you cling to a specific outcome, you are essentially saying, "This is the only way I can be happy." But life holds infinite possibilities. Detachment means, I have a clear intention. I act decisively, but I remain open to uncertainty. He encourages committing to uncertainty, because in uncertainty, creativity lives. In uncertainty, opportunity appears. In uncertainty, you're not trapped in one rigid script. When you stop forcing solutions, solutions often reveal themselves. 4. Stoicism. Focus on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That is the essence of Stoicism. Detachment in Stoic philosophy means, I control my actions, I control my attitude, I control my character, but I do not control other people's opinions, the weather, the market, the final outcome. The principle of amor fati, love of fate, teaches that whatever happens is part of the necessary path. No resistance, no resentment, no self-pity, only learning and moving forward. 5. The difference between attachment and detachment. Attachment says, I must have it. Detachment says, I will give it my best. Attachment is driven by fear of failure. Detachment is driven by joy in the process. Attachment collapses under failure. Detachment adapts quickly. And here's the irony. When you're no longer paralyzed by pressure, you often exceed your original expectations. 6. The practical formula: maximum effort plus minimum attachment. You can start today with a simple formula. Maximum effort plus minimum attachment. Define your goal clearly. Identify what you can control. Pour your full energy into that. Release the rest. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I give my best effort? Not, did I get the result I wanted? If the answer is yes, you've already succeeded that day. Remember, detachment does not make you less ambitious. It makes you stronger. It allows you to act without fear. Experiment without self-punishment. Fail without losing your identity. Succeed without arrogance. When you release attachment to outcomes, you reclaim your inner power. And the most beautiful paradox of life is this. When you no longer need the outcome to feel complete, the outcome often comes to you. If you're feeling intense pressure around a specific goal right now, ask yourself, what can I truly control? What am I trying to control that isn't mine to control? Maybe you don't need to give up the goal. Maybe you only need to give up the attachment. And that is where freedom begins. In the end, detachment is not about lowering your standards. It's about raising your consciousness. It's the shift from, I need this to be okay, to I am okay, and I will give this my best. When you stop chasing validation, you start mastering your craft. When you stop fearing loss, you start playing freely. When you stop gripping the outcome, you unlock your full potential. True power is not in controlling everything. It is in controlling yourself. So pursue boldly, work relentlessly, dream without limits. But hold your goals with open hands, not clenched fists. Because the moment you no longer need the result to define you, is the moment you become unstoppable. And that is the real success.